All right, well,
All right.
you guys ready then? We can get right into it.
Oh, I'm ready. I've been waiting for this for a while.
All right, let's get right into it then. Ladies and gentlemen, I put this shit on the wrong side. One sec, I'm trolling. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, episode number 558 of Beyond the Rift, starring the one and only, your host with the most, Mr. I'm a Cutie Pie, Mr. Michael Santana, whatever you want to call me. I go by many names. Joining me today is the one and only, my lovely co-host, Skara. Skara.
Hey. Oh, my bad. I cut it a little early. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Skara. You guys may have heard of me. I used to be a teammate with Cutie. Now I just stream for a living.
Let me add something real quick. Your camera now is super zoomed in, Scar, instead of Zeyzal's. So you're just like literally the corner of like we're looking in your closet.
Cutie, why are you trolling me, dude?
Just move your head slightly over, and you'll be perfect. Here, I'll tell you when. Can you move a little more?
Wait.
Okay, that's perfect.
Wait, I'm literally so off center. It's insane.
Whatever, it's good enough though. And joining us today, Zeyzal, the one and only. So let me clarify. Last Beyond the Rift, I said some things like Zeyzal sucks and I don't think he's very good. But I will clarify. Let me just. I said that I think Zeyzal.
That's the very first question. Why don't you let Zeyzal introduce himself?
Okay, Zeyzal, introduce yourself, Dad.
All right. So I'm C9's current starting support for LCS, and I just most recently came back from our run at Worlds where we lost in semifinals.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a good guess because I got some questions for him. But before we get right into it, Discord live question and answer at the end of the show. Everyone loves asking questions, and let me tell you something. We have never been asked so many great questions since we started doing the live question and answer. You guys are killing it. We love all your questions. Please keep asking them because let me tell you, there's nothing better than reading what you guys have to say. Please give me more of your questions because I love to read them. And I'm not just saying that because I want you to download the program so Discord pays us. That's only partially. That's only partially the reason why. But let's go straight into the topics then, because Scar said this was topic number one, and
It literally is topic number one,
and he is completely wrong because topic number one is Cloud9 made the furthest.
It's topic number two.
Cloud9 made the furthest run of any NA team at Worlds. How did you guys do it?
Fairly open-ended.
So I guess the start is going into Worlds, we actually weren't that strong of a team. So we had to quickly realize that, like, obviously if you guys watch play-ins, we look pretty weak. We're like winning in 40-minute games against play-in teams. And there wasn't much of an excuse for that. We were just a weak team at the time. So realizing that, I think we realized a lot of our problems were we weren't taking advantage of the enemy team when they would mess up. So things like we would just give up our vision and concede it when we had numbers or things like that. So slowly, I think we realized that we were bad. They weren't good. And that we had to punish and just play like hyper aggressive. And then we slowly toned it back to the point where we actually became a good team that punished the enemy's mistakes.
How do you think you guys managed to do that though? Because the way you make it sounds so simple. Like Twitch chat will just say, just punish their mistakes, forehead. Just do this shit, forehead. Like, I can't imagine it's just like, well, we're not punishing their mistakes enough. Guess we'll start doing it. Well, shit, I guess we made it to semifinals. Good shit, everyone. Like, how did you get to that?
So we started after the first 2 days of group stage where we noticed Vitality was upsetting a lot of strong teams. And we were looking, or at least I was looking at like how they were doing it. And it was pretty clear that it was not through like just being straight better players or a better team. It was like the way they played was they defended their vision, they shifted people up faster, and they didn't play around waves, because if you play strictly around waves, then you're basically playing LCK meta or like a slow meta where you only make plays when you have numbers and you only get numbers by pushing your waves to their towers. So we had to realize like, oh well, if they can do it, we can do it. So in our scrims, we started focusing more on fighting on our vision and just being willing to take fights immediately. So then our VOD review shifted from like a lot less macro oriented play to knowing when to take fights and why to take fights. So it was a big shift from NA macro, which is like VOD review in NA. Each team takes like 40 minutes. Actually, you're supposed to take 20 to 30. That's like high end, right? Yeah. NA, a lot of teams like to take like 40 minutes of VOD review purely macro. And it's just like wild. You just played like a 35-minute scrim where someone like didn't shift up their top laner soon enough, so the enemy team got Baron and you won the game for free. And now you have a 40-minute VOD review for that.
Wait, do you VOD review after every game, or?
Yeah, in scrims you VOD review after each individual game.
And you VOD review the game and then you go over I'm just curious now, how does a VOD review work? Like, if you watch a macro mistake, how can you extend it to 40 minutes? It's like rotate top. Like, how do you make that into a 40-minute conversation?
So it's surprising. Our VOD review was usually pretty short. Like, our macro was like, it was pretty clear. Like, we have a very dominant coach in Reaper. Like, his opinion usually goes. People don't argue it much. But I imagine some teams have a lot more open-ended discussion where they're like, maybe their top laner doesn't want to rotate because he can get the extra Krug camp, you know? So then he argues that my Krug camp's more valuable than the vision on Baron. And then I guess they just argue that for a while, and then that's 40-minute VOD reviews.
Wait. So your scrim blocks are like, are they like best of threes or 3-hour, 2-hour blocks, and you play game VOD review, and that's 3 hours?
Yeah, so it's 3 hours generally, and it's 3 hours, 3 games. So it's game, VOD review, game, VOD review, game, VOD review. And now, if you scrim the same team twice in the day. So now then you take 1 to 2 hour break, and then you do the same thing again. And then that's your 6 hours of scrims.
A team books the whole day now?
Yeah, you book the whole day with the same team. Except third blocks usually will be with a different team.
What's the reasoning behind that?
I don't necessarily know. I guess it's just easier not to schedule 3-hour blocks twice a day, so they just booked with one team now.
Yeah, I'm curious, what's your opinion on that, Zeyzal? That shit sounds horribly inefficient, but like, what do you think of that? Do you think like 40-minute VOD reviews is like, that's the go-to plan to improve? Because, I mean, I remember when we used to do VOD review, like, there's not 40 minutes of discussion. It's like, alright, you fucked this shit up, don't do that shit again, you need to do blah, blah, blah. Like, maybe there might be some argument, but like, do you really think there's 40 minutes of like, content in the game to discuss?
Generally, I think VOD review can be kept to like 15 to 25. I know there's been like situations where I've had it go on beyond that, and I think it was justified, but I don't think any reasonable team should average over 30 minutes of VOD review. It should be like 20, 25.
Okay. So let me get this straight. You guys shifted away from like this macro-oriented style, which is really played around waves, like the skirmish-heavy style. Does that mean that, like, essentially what you're doing now is you're just looking to pick good fights? Like, you don't care about waves?
Yeah, we discuss better fights and how we start the better fights rather than how we get in position for the fights. So we discuss the action of going, and then we basically sacrifice more stuff to be in the position as opposed to discussing the details of how we get into that position without sacrifice.
So does that eventually just turn out to be, like, you don't catch waves as much? You just, like...
You will sacrifice some waves, yeah. That's what we do a lot. And also, it's a lot about how the enemy will play. Like, everyone had it. It was so set how you played the game when, just last split even, like during our NA split, we could literally say what the enemy would do. Like, we were playing games when we went on our win streak. We'd just be like, we're going to push in top. They have to catch top. We shift into their top side jungle. While they're under tier 2, we can dive mid. Something like that. Every team is just going to catch the tier 2 top. But at Worlds, teams weren't doing that. So then, like, now you're playing, like, you think what they're going to do is catch under tier 2 top, and then they counter mid. Your mid dive. You just got aced and lost the game. Something like that.
What do you think then about that? Do you think that's the best play style right now? Because I know like a lot this discussion on like what the play style should be, like what's the best type of way of playing the game. Do you think it should be more about like just forcing fights, not so much like macro intensive? We need to get this wave pushing. We need to slow push this way so we can set up to do this bullshit when it spawns. Like, in your opinion, what do you think of like that super macro heavy playstyle versus just find out how to team fight and go fucking team fight?
I think personally that it's like a good mix. Like if you have just terrible macro, the enemy team will just avoid you and make you lose waves, right? So it's like right now you have to have macro to where a point where you can get the fight started without losing the game before then. But it seems like the games are just a lot more explosive because of the champions. I don't even know if it's the meta. But it's not normal. Like right now you just, let's say there's an Aatrox in the game, we'll just like, I imagine if you guys watched IG's games versus G2, like the Shy was literally 1 versus 3ing their backline. Like that hasn't really been a thing until this year, I feel.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I think
it's kind of a weird position.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but I guess that is true, where now you don't really need as much farm as you used to because, I mean, the hyper carry, I mean, at least for me, I don't feel like the hyper carries in the AD. It's just in, like, whatever the fucking Aatrox, Urgot, fucking Aurelia, any of those champion, like, they'll just 1v9 with, like, 100 CS. Like, you just give them their first item, they just go 1v9 shit, so.
I remember talking to Bwipo, he's like, yeah, the meta right now currently is if you have an Akali or Aurelia player and it's unbanned and he's good, you win the game. And I'm like, that doesn't seem normal. But he was legit serious when he told me that. I'm like, okay. And I think right now, like, when I talk about like the top side meta, it just feels like there's like 4 OP picks for every role, and they are unbeatable by like off meta picks. They're just like insanely strong.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. Like, during the whole world, it's just like, so do you guys have a counter to Aatrox? Then not only does your counter have to win lane, but it has to be more useful than Aatrox. Because if Aatrox just goes down 20 CS, you have an Aatrox on your team, something like that.
Yeah, I can definitely see how, I guess it makes sense then how the meta like ended up being what you said about not so much catching waves, but just finding good fights because, once, like if you let Aatrox, if you don't keep him in check, if you don't keep Victor in check, if you don't keep these like stupid ass champions in check, one team fight they win and it's just like, well, we lost now. So I can see how. Oh, you can go.
I think it also has to do with the new Baron buff. Like, do you ever, when you get Baron in solo queue, do you ever feel like they have a chance to defend? Yeah, it's like,
no.
You don't even have to use your brain. Their creeps are unkillable, and they just like, they can literally just look at you in front of your tower, and if they have a cannon, it'll take your tower.
Yeah.
They don't even have to do anything.
Yeah, those Baron buff creeps too, it's not just sieging, like in the split push too, like if you have a winning side lane, and they go to split push with those Baroned up creeps, it's just like, what can the guy defending even do? Like, at least before you could try to kill him, but the creeps now will just fucking maul you. Like, yeah, it's actually ridiculous. Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess there's a lot of things about this meta now I never thought about that, like, led into, because there's a lot of discussion about, like, how the meta ended up this way and all this kind of bullshit, but I didn't really, like, think much of it until you started talking about it. I guess sacrificing waves is worth a lot more if you have like a hard carry type of solo laner because they can just go and solo carry. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, and not to mention like they took out a bit of the AD carry factor of like if you sacrifice all your waves, their AD gets behind and yours gets ahead. So now at 35 minutes, you automatically win. But now it's like, well, their AD's down 50 CS at 20 minutes, but they got Baron, so you probably lost anyway.
Yeah, it's so easy to farm back up into it too. Yeah, like if you just fucking have Baron buff, it's like, well, I'm just gonna go do whatever the fuck I want now. It's not like you can contest this anyway, so. Yeah, I'm... Okay. Yeah, That's pretty surprising to hear, though. I mean, do you feel? I guess before we move on from this question, do you feel like any of the other NA teams should have gone further, like Team Liquid or 100 Thieves? Like, what'd you think of your NA counterparts?
You're gonna do them like that, Keating?
I'm just curious to hear his opinion. Like, I imagine you must have played versus like Team Liquid and 100 Thieves. You must.
I think TL was good at knowing how to make like. They were good at what I said basically stopped happening, which is where you would push your waves in, know exactly what the enemy's going to do. They knew how to punish on their windows when they knew what the enemy was going to do. So then like once they, like a team like Fnatic was actually the most obvious when they did this stuff. They would like never do what you expect. Like Cap's recall's level 4 and he's just in bot lane. Like what's this guy doing here? He has a wave to catch mid and he's just sitting under here. And we're like, Jensen, he's down here, and he's like, it's fine, he's losing melee creeps mid right now. It's like, that stuff is like so weird, but TL was like the best at, and NA they were the best at knowing what to do when you do the traditional thing of like catching your waves under tier 2, they immediately move into your like mid-side jungle, take full control, pressure Baron. They're good at that stuff.
Okay. What'd you think of 100 Thieves? You just think they were doomed because they had Ricard?
It's pretty much. I don't even.
I mean, I'm just being honest, dude. Like,
I think 100 was pretty weird because Onda started doing really well, but they always had the same problem where the only way they ever start a fight is through Afromu. So then, like, if your only condition to fight is Afromu, and if he's not in a position to carry the game through lane or from jungle bailing him out, then it's kind of hard for Afromu to single-handedly like get all the fights started. It was just like a theme you notice if you watch 100 Thieves play, that almost all fights they start are either them being engaged on or Afro engaging.
So you don't think 100 Thieves had much of a chance? Or you think
I don't think they didn't really have macro going for them. I think they were fine in it, but like they weren't like TL where they were exceptional. And I think that some days really good, but they didn't really have like anything going for them, I guess. I wouldn't say they have anything other than like Afro's good at engaging for them to really win them games.
Okay. Alright, let's go on then to the next topic. So, last week, some comments on this show talked about our guest's ability to play the game. What qualities make for a good support player? So let me start off by saying, I don't think Zeyzal is very good. I don't think this is a meta that showcases how good a player is either on bot lane. But I will say, hey, I'm just saying, I don't think this is a meta that showcases bot. I don't think anyone watched Worlds and they were like, Jesus, did you just see what Uzi did? How he just got knocked out at group stages? Dan, were you watching Reckles when he picked Sivir and cleared the wave for like the entire fucking game? No one was going fucking crazy over that shit. I will say though, I think you're a lot like Ole in my opinion. I think you do have room to grow. Next season should be interesting. I'm not rooting for you because I don't have much faith in you still. I'll be honest with you. But I do think that if you are the player that I think you are next season, will be where you show it. But you can go on that. What qualities make for a good support player?
So, alright. So I guess a good support player, in my opinion, has qualities where they're willing to be the one to start the fight for their team. They're willing to be the one to realize what's going on in comms and communicate what isn't in comms already. So it's like, there's random stuff I'll communicate, like, if I see the jungler and Dennis doesn't call it, I'm the most likely one to call that, like, oh, the jungler can be topside. Well, I'm in lane, I can call stuff like that. So I think a good support will, like, make up for a lot of their team's flaws. And I think a good support will be the one to engage most fights when they're given the position and also hold their vision aggressively and know when to bluff and why they're bluffing.
What's your response to Kitty's statement about you?
My response?
Yeah, okay.
I think I played poorly the first probably 8 weeks of LCS, but I also think given my position where I just replaced the runner-up MVP previously, Smoothie, that it was pretty clear that I don't think many supports would have succeeded in my position. And also that my team wasn't very strong. Like, as a unit, we just weren't very good at that point. We were in last place, so it's hard for me to look good, but I think with how I played at Worlds, it's hard for me not to make a case for being a good support, so I'd agree if all he watched was early LCS. But I think to imply I'm not a good support after my series against TSM, games throughout group stages, I think even our play-in stages, a lot of the games were single-handedly decided by my play. I think 2 games in the Gambit series alone, Game 3, my Thresh, I think, and Game 5, my Alistar, both decided the games. So I'd say I did underperform at times, but I also was the one to single-handedly push my team forward in times when we were not doing so well.
Hey,
confident.
I'll be honest. I didn't watch the play-in games or whatever. I said I think C9's going to be the only team to make it out of groups because somehow C9 always is the team to make it out of groups. And I guess I want to ask you then, how do you feel being on a rookie, being the rookie on the team, getting out of groups? How did it feel being at Worlds? Because you've never been. This is your first split of LCS, right? You used to play on Challenger Series, but this is or not your first split. Is it your first split? Is it your second?
Yeah, it's my first split of LCS.
So how did it feel from going to that to semifinals? Did you have nerves at all? Because I'm surprised. Yeah, you managed to perform on the world stage, which is pretty fucking impressive. Because most people nerves and shit get to them. Do you not have any of that? Are you just immune to it, or?
Pretty much after the first 2 weeks of LCS, I never really felt nerves again. I never, felt like nerves were hindering my performance at all. I did notice certain things I was lacking on stage when I'd played, and I talked a bit about it with my teammates, and, I think someone, they were reassuring me, yeah, it's pretty normal. Reaper was I don't even think I looked at my mini-map the first 5 times I played, something like that. So it was slowly over time I started to pick up the habits that I was missing on stage. So you guys both played on stage, so I don't know if you experienced it too, but the first time I played on stage, I think I looked at the mini-map once every 30 seconds. I was just doing some weird stuff.
Yeah, I mean, playing on the LCS stage is one thing. I think we both played enough on stage where the LCS stage didn't really matter that much. But playing on the world stage, playing on a stage where Worlds, you really weren't affected by nerves at all there either?
No, Worlds had no effect. It was no different for me. I don't know if it was just I'd never really felt going in that I was nervous, and I never really felt that we wouldn't be able to win. I have a bit of blind confidence in my team, for sure. I know we're probably some part of me knows we probably shouldn't win this match, but then I'm yeah, we'll probably win, and then I just say that about every match, and we've been winning since then.
Hey, to be fair, you gotta have that. You have to have that kind of confidence, though, right? You don't think you can go into a game, we're gonna fucking lose this shit 100. There's no fucking way we win.
There's actually, our series that we 3-0'd TSM, we were doing our Riot features, which, you go to Riot, we went the Saturday because we didn't know who we were playing, so they had to do the features the day before our match. We go into Riot Saturday, and the people that do the features, her name's Eunice. She does all the features for Riot. So I walk in there and she's like, "So how's your day?" And I'm like, "I'm pretty good. I'm feeling good." She's like, "Wow, you're the first member of your team to tell me that." And then because they did Blabber and Eric right before me. So Blabber and Licorice. And she was like, "Yeah, Licorice looked like his girlfriend just dumped him when he came in here." Because obviously at the time I don't think he thought we had good chances against TSM because the week before finals, we were scrimming TSM, which was 3 weeks before Gauntlet, I think. They were just probably 90% win rate against us in scrims. We actually, we had some rough scrim results that time. So we had to rebuild that whole week. We actually started that week by scrimming Clutch over we had the option to scrim TSM because we didn't know we were going to play them for Gauntlet for sure. and we took clutch over them, which were quite weaker.
You just wanted some free wins?
Yeah.
Oh,
You could just say it like it is, dude.
Clutch smacked us that day. So you can imagine, but that didn't actually matter in the end. So that was part of the rebuilding.
Wait, that didn't matter in the end? You picked
No.
clutch
We
instead
rebuilt
of...
it and we re-owed them.
Dude, if I were you guys, and because I remember, every team does that. Like, if they get smacked around in scrims, it's like, shit, we need a confidence boost. Who are we gonna do it on? Let's pick this garbage ass team.
That was what we thought was the weakest team scrimming too. So it was pretty awkward. But anyway, so we started rebuilding after that. Sneaky was real vocal during this phase. He was like, guys, I just want to tell you guys, we're shit. They're not good. That he kept making sure to tell us this, like, we're not, like, they're not good. We're just bad. Because I guess to him it's happened before, right? He's experienced it where it's like you write off your scrim losses as the enemy being good, and then you don't learn as much. Like, it happened during Worlds too when we were losing. He was like, they're not good. We're just bad.
Wow.
So I think that was like a big part of it, because he kept saying that, and like we had more reason to focus on improving ourselves, because it became less about them and more about only the fact that we're losing.
I didn't realize Sneaky was such a, like, motivator. I didn't realize he got you guys, huddled you up, like, they're not good, we just fucking suck dick. Like, is that what he was doing, or?
No, yeah, kind of. It was like in VOD review, it was like, guys, I don't know what we're doing here, we are really bad.
See, let me say something.
They are not good. We're just really bad.
I like that.
Making sure we know that.
Yeah, I like that.
Sneaky is the most vocal in VOD review, for sure.
Oh, is he really? Wow.
Yeah, so Sneaky has a weird way of viewing the game where it's not like, he doesn't always talk about, he's actually kind of the person that he initially felt, so there was a discussion, like, it was, at one point during our games, it was like, if your teammates are fighting, and you have a wave in front of you, should you immediately start moving, or should you push the wave? Most players will have a different answer on this, right?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people would be like, push the wave, right?
Yeah.
And then Sneaky's like, I think we should all hover down until the fight's over. That's Sneaky's opinion. And that's a bit of a weird one. Like, a lot of people wouldn't do that. But that's, in the end, what kind of changed our world style. Is like, doing stuff like that means that if the fight does continue, we get the advantage out of it.
Oh, because it's not this.
Yeah, but this conversation actually happened, like, 2 months before Worlds, and it actually ended up being, like, somewhat relevant, but, like, Sneaky's very vocal in VOD review, and he focuses more on, like, actually being able to repeat what concepts you go over, as opposed to the perfect world concept.
Dude,
so, like, in a perfect world, we should do something else, but he focuses more on how do we replicate this, so in the next game, we can actually use it.
He's much more pragmatic. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Dude, I'll say, I used to be exactly like Sneaky, where I'd always tell my team on Dignitas, you guys all fucking suck and you need to get better. And let me say something, that never worked. No one ever was like, damn, Cutie, you're right, I need to start improving. Let me go get on the fucking practice, dude.
I don't think he ever went up to, Licorice over here and said, Eric, I just want you to know you really suck.
No. I'll say,
He said that to Crumbs multiple times.
This is how, I don't know how VOD review works nowadays, but like, cause we'd all sit around the couch, we'd watch the TV, like the VOD on it, and I'd just be like up there next to the TV, like pointing stuff out, and it'd just be like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing here, you need to do this, and this. Like, maybe I was a little more aggressive.
This is how you would do VOD review. We do VOD review, and then like someone would be talking about it, and you'd be like pent up with rage. And at some point during discussion, you like get up and you'd be like, you'd say like, I don't know how this makes no fucking sense. I can't believe you don't know how to play this. Like, it's so easy. And then like it would take us like an extra 3 minutes for you to like sit down and explain to the team why or what we're gonna do, and you were a bad communicator back then. So it's like,
I was terrible.
Hands, while like the rest of the team was like, can you use your words, like the English language? And it took us like, I could see where back then it would take 40 minutes, because it take 20 minutes to communicate in English and 20 minutes to understand the concept.
Yeah.
I think,
Dude,
okay, keep going.
I was gonna say, let me just clarify though. It's like I want to say I like hearing that he says you guys suck. We need to improve, or we all suck, because I feel like that's the biggest thing that I always stress to people is like, especially in bot lane, even if you're the one that fucks up, it's always like if your support like does some stupid shit and you're playing AD and you die, it's like a we thing. It's not this guy's a fucking idiot. It's like, damn, we played that shit like garbage. Cause like, it's always a team thing no matter what at the end of the day. Even if he's a fucking idiot, he's your fucking idiot. And you gotta take care of this motherfucker. No, on stream. On stream, I flame the fuck. If it's like stupid as fuck, I'll flame him. But usually I'll just be like, damn, we're fucking dumb as fuck. But yeah, in like, I remember on Scrim, I'd always say like, we're all fucking garbage. And I'd stress that so much. Maybe I stressed it a little too much. I don't know how much.
You stress the like, we're bad more than they're bad. Like I think if you stress more that they're bad, people would have gotten more confidence there.
Yeah, because I think a lot of how it was effective with Sneaky is Sneaky was also the one to be like, guys, we're a good team. Because like there was a time at Worlds.
Yeah,
where,
that never happened with me.
Yeah. So there was times at Worlds where he was like, guys, we're really good. It's obvious. Like teams should not be able to come back. Like no team comes back from some of the deficits that we have as a team. And like he would stress like that's a sign of a good team. And he would also like actively encourage us on things that we were good at. Yeah, so it was like it wasn't just the I'm a cutie pie, we are all shit. It was we're good. But right now, we're shit.
See, that was the thing. I think that was my biggest problem, is I like breaking things down, but I didn't know how to build them up afterward. So like, Dignitas was literally always just a bunch of building blocks and fucking shambles on the floor. No one ever built it up into anything. It's like, as soon as one block got stacked on top of another, I just pushed that shit off, dude.
It's like Kitty was playing good cop, bad cop, but his top half like just took a break.
Yeah. I mean, Sneaky was never very direct, but except those two moments where he was like, guys, we're bad. And that's like, it was at the times we actually needed to hear it, because it's very easy to write off your losses as them being good. Mm-hmm. So like, the timings in which he says it were very important. And I think if he was just like, week 1 of LCS, or week 2 of LCS, he just like comes in, like that was when we were experimenting with our roster, and he's like, by the way, you're all shit. That probably would not have gone over as well. But like, once he said it, once we already like had our feet in the ground, we were actually like getting wins, it was a bit different.
I'm just curious then, what did Reaper say during like the first couple of weeks when you guys were like starting off with the Ross? Was he just like, take your time, we'll figure this shit out? Cause that was too when like Sneaky and Jensen got benched, right?
Yeah, so Reaper's perspective on it was like, he wanted, so Keith and Golden Glue, as everyone says this, you guys don't understand just how hard they were smacking everyone in scrims. There was not a time in lane where Golden Glue was not single-handedly like carrying the game. And Keith was up like 30, 40 CS getting solo kills every game. 2v2. No matter which support was in, me or Smoothie. Yeah, they were just bopping everyone, both of them. I mean, Grayson was like unbelievably good at the time, like in the scrim results.
Damn, that's fucked up though. You said unbelievably good at the time. What about now?
He's always been good in scrims, and I think he performed well the last time we used him on stage as well. But I haven't got to scrim with him in a while, because we were out Worlds with only Blabber as our sub.
Yeah. Wow, I'm surprised though. They were actually like smurfing and scrims.
Yeah. Like, honestly, so what happened was, I don't know how much of this I guess it doesn't matter at this point, but so what happened was, our academy team has Blabber, Grayson, me, Keith, Shiro.
Yeah.
We're just winning every game in scrims. We're just having fun. So it's literally to the point where our scrims are so worthless because we're just bopping everyone. Keith and I were playing Cho'Gath Tahm Kench bot lane and just solo killing our lane 5 times. So like we're just having fun down here, and then we hear about like our main team, like they're not really winning scrims. They don't really have the motivation they need, and we're just doing super well, you know. So everyone's doing well. So then they're like one day, all right, we'll give the main team a break. Maybe these guys need a break because they've been scrimming like 2 weeks straight and not having the best results. So we stepped in for let's just say an unknown team that our main team did not have the best win rate against. We put in all 5 of us, and we immediately have like an 80% win rate, I think, that day. A bit higher. 5-1, I think, is what we went that day. We put in our whole main team.
You put your whole academy team, you mean?
Our whole academy team in as the main team. We said we were the main team that day.
Oh, you just fucking bopped them? What the fuck?
Well, it's TR. We used our own accounts. But we just like told them like, yeah, this is our team right now. Damn. So we just put them in, and then we got put back in academy. So we were just scrimming again in academy, and then I guess like it was pretty clear that something needed to change in the main team because our academy team was able to do that, but our main team wasn't. So then they slowly started like putting the pieces together, and I think first I don't remember the exact sequence of events, but like Grayson and Keith were put up pretty early, and they were both performing super well. And then eventually at some point I was moved up. I don't think I really outperformed Smoothie, to be honest. He probably did as well as I did. I think there was maybe the main differences are like what people heard at the start, where I talk a bit differently than Smoothie. So I talk a lot, but it's not necessarily around myself. So I mean, honestly, it probably wasn't due to performance. That like it was the Smoothie and I thing, just how it happened to be at the time.
I'm just surprised that you guys were like bopping people in academy with like Cho'Gath and Tahm Kench. What the fuck?
So that day, so our scrims were actually hilarious in academy, because what do you really do when you have insane win rates versus every academy team? You basically start taking those academy scrims like they're worth nothing to you. You just literally, there was games we scrimmed an academy team. We have Blabber in. It's his first ever scrim, basically. He's like 0-7-1, and we're winning the game. He doesn't even have to play the game. He's just having fun. Like we had our team ready to go. We had Grayson, Keith, Shiro, and I just carrying Blabber.
I know what you mean with that shit, because I remember when we were on Dig, we used to do like some real stupid shit, because we just end up winning it anyway, so it was like, who gives a fuck, dude? I remember I played like Cassiopeia Teemo with Kiwi Kid.
I played Skarner's support. Once they moved Sneaky down, so like our team was Jensen, Sneaky, Shiro, Blabber, and I was like, they were like, what's good here? And I'm like, let's pick me Skarner's support. They're all melee. So I literally went 0-11 that game. Do you guys, guess what? We won that game. I'm 0-11 and we won.
See, the thing is that, do you think that that's like, cause you should always take the game seriously, obviously, and all this bullshit, but like, what do you think of when that happens? If you're just like bopping everyone every fucking game, like what do you even do at that point? Yeah, you can say.
So I think I learned very little in academy because of that. Basically, our team was, when we scrimmed academy teams, there was only 2 academy teams that could even take games off us, and we can't scrim those teams every day. So pretty much the teams, there were certain days when we would scrim. The days were basically like a day off almost for us. We just like have some fun, bop some noobs. And that was pretty much how it was in academy. Like it was relaxing. Our first split of academy, we were good, but you can't really learn anything in those games.
Do you feel like there's a lack of talent in academy?
I feel like it's very top end heavy the way academy was. I think it was more well-balanced, the second split of academy, but the first split, it felt like there was only a few teams that were good. I think that the lower end of academy is very weak still. And there's a very clear difference between like low end and high end of academy for sure.
I mean, I feel like that's how it is in the LCS too, right? Like, there's a pretty big difference.
I don't think it's too big individually though. Like, because if you take the 10th place team would be GGS. Like, Contracts is individually on an equal level. I know that definitely is really good at certain, like, I think he's very good at what his role was within the team. And then, like, you could argue the same. Mickey had games where he just 1v9'd, like his Talon games he was really good on early in the season. Definitely carried when he was in the what was it? The funneling meta? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He just picked Kai'Sa jungle and farmed up for 40 minutes.
Oh, stupid.
Yeah,
So, like,
that was
individually, I
fun.
wouldn't say any of their players were super hard, like, outclassed. But, like, there are some academy matchups where I just went into that day in my academy match. It's match day. I'm, like, against a certain team without putting any teams on blast, of course. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to have fun today, do whatever I want. We'll see what happens.
I like
And
that,
it's just,
dude.
you just go into it.
I mean, do you think then for like just academy? Because you said even now you think the bottom end of academy is like it could use some help, right? Do you think that there's enough talent right now to like fix it, or what do you think of that?
I would say that the immediate performance results wouldn't be there. Like, the bottom end of academy would still be very weak, but I think that there's a lot of players in NA that could be good, but are missing certain things. Like, there's players that are very clearly good, but just like, I guess an example would be Clown.
A consensual.
Like, I think Clown is good. Yeah, consensual Clown.
He's so
Duo-
fucking
Duo
good,
King.
dude.
I think Clown is really good.
Yeah.
But, like, I guarantee if you just put him in academy, he'd probably feed unless you teach him anything.
Yeah,
And obviously, like, he's an example. I don't think his play is an issue. He's an example of, like, attitude is an issue.
yeah.
And that's happened with other players, too. Like, Chris could be in academy very easily. The top laner, he's, like, ranked 2 right now. Chris was always really good, but, like, he just got denied scouting grounds for attitude reasons.
Yeah.
A
That,
like-
couple people did, I heard.
I don't know how many people did.
They didn't go public with the people who got denied, but I know some people who did.
Alright, that's the only one I know of. He just told me on stream earlier. Then there's like TF Blade, Spica. These players are all good, but they're just not in academy. So I would say there is talent to make a team. Just for whatever reason, we're not really utilizing it.
Oh,
well, to
we're
be
talking
fair,
about low end. Wait. Let me think.
Okay, you can go.
What do you want?
No, I was gonna say,
Alright.
alright, you're fucking trolling me. Shut the fuck up.
You go.
Yeah, no, to be fair though, like, TF Blade doesn't even want to play, like, competitive, right?
Yeah. There's no reason for him to. If
Yeah.
he goes to academy, he will lose 90% of his income.
Yeah, like, what do you think of that though? Like, there are some players that actually just don't even want to play competitive. They just want to, like, have fun and shit. Do you think that that's a problem? Like, cause I know a lot of people say, like, NA, fun region, blah, 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 all this shit. And, like, I mean, TF Blade is one of those players that people hype up. He could be, like, the second coming of, like, fucking Faker or some shit. Like,
I would say that those players aren't really, like, I don't think the NA thing is a problem. Like, honestly, our region is so small that I'm pretty sure if you didn't queue in the mornings, I would never get a morning queue. Like, people literally queue in the mornings to snipe you. Like, you probably have single-handedly made the queue rate in the morning something that's actually playable, just because our region's so small.
100%.
Without that, we probably couldn't play in the morning.
dude,
But
I mean, cause a lot of people have talked about, like, the number of players isn't a problem. You disagree with that then? You think the number of players is a problem?
I think when I go to Korea and I get a queue in 2 minutes, it's so much nicer than sitting in an A queue. I'm just sitting here 10 minutes. I'm doing whatever I want. I get a queue pop. Oh, dodge. 5 minutes more. It takes, like, on average, probably 13 minutes to get into a game.
13 minutes? Dude,
Yeah.
I fucking wish. That shit...
Alright, that's probably low end, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say it takes 13 minutes based on what it says, but it doesn't count the amount of
The
time.
dodges,
Yeah,
yeah.
the dodges, the amount of time you spend in champ select, and the fucker dodges at the last second every time. That's the most tilting fucking thing in the world. But
I think the only thing I would say that NA has more than other regions is we have so many one tricks. It's actually
I was
unproportionately
actually
high.
Yeah, I was actually about to say that is like the amount of one trick I've had in my games. 8 one tricks. I don't know because you played in Korea. Is there like do you have on average 8 one tricks in a game?
No. You have like 2 at most, and even then, usually you won't even know they're one tricks. And like it's like the occasional Jax Darius one trick, and then there's like 3 Aurelian one tricks. I don't think it's very common you run into one tricks in Korea.
Holy, really?
It's very little that you do. At least I didn't run into that many.
I feel like the only way people climb up to the ladder is by one tricking. That's how it actually feels.
That's the easiest way to climb for sure. Like right now, my match history is like 90% Rakan. My stream's just like, why are you picking Rakan every game? And it's like, I want to climb before the season ends. It's like, that's the best way to climb, right? You just pick one champion and spam it.
That's the damn truth right there. What were you guys saying though, Scar, before I cut you off?
I wanted to ask, because you're talking about all these players that like, it's easy to play against. Yeah, you went to Worlds. Was there any player that really impressed you? Like, you played against them on the world stage and you're just like, God damn, dude, this guy's fucking good. Like, either in scrims or like on stage.
In scrims, there was Damwon had a support that came in. I don't know if it's leaking. I don't know if it was tryouts or something, but this guy was insane. He's the biggest BMer ever though. This guy sits in lane and spams laugh at me for 5 minutes of laning on Alistar. He's just spamming his little cowbell. But
wait, you didn't mute the laughs? You just sat there and
I did, but you still see it. You still see him hitting his little cowbell.
Really?
This guy's just hard BMing me. I'm like, this is the week of scrims. I've lost every scrim. I don't know if he was insane or we were just broken, but this guy was like BMing me the whole time. He's just smacking us around. They actually would double flash on like one of us, Sneaky and I, instantly. It was the most decisive like double flash I've ever seen out of a team. Like it was like within like 1/8 of a second, they're both like double flashed on you and killed you.
Damn.
And they were using like 2 supports, and that one was like clearly. He was pretty insane.
So,
but
Damwon, what was his name?
Damwon Gaming, I think. They just promoted. Let me see.
Just promoted?
Yeah, it's Hoyt, I think. Hoit. This guy was the most BM player I've ever played against in scrims.
But he was
good. He was good.
Alright, keep your eye out then for that.
Yeah, keep your eye out for this one, man.
I mean, honestly, with how he played, I feel like he's either a turbo enter or really good. It's hard to tell. He could have been a turbo enter.
Yeah, he could be Alicopter on a Smurf account.
Yeah, like Alicopter. Like if you play against Alicopter one game, you never see him play again. He just has that one game where he kills your bot lane level 3, then roams top, dives the top laner from behind the tower. You're like, holy shit, is Alicopter balanced? This guy's insane.
Yeah.
But then you see, the next game you play against Alicopter again, and he does the same thing. It's like he wrote it down on his little notepad on his desktop, does the same exact path. You're like, oh, he just goes top level 3 every game.
That's the damn truth.
No, I actually like Alicopter. He gave me a lot of advice for Alistar, and I talked to him. But like, I guarantee
he's nuts. Like,
if you play against him once and you don't like recognize what he does, his patterns, you just think he's insane and just knows what to do all the time.
No, 100%. That guy is so different than all the other support mains. Like the way he plays, Alistar is like how I feel like that champ's meant to be played. Even if it's like kind of stupid sometimes, I'm always just like, this guy actually knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he hits S in lane and then he just stands there until.
He's actually. When I lane against him, he always presses S. So that was like the Hoyt guy. He pressed S. Those guys are just S players for sure.
Yeah, those are fucking smurfers.
That just like to do that. Aframu does it a lot in lane. He just presses S and looks at you, and I'm like, should I hit him? Is it BM to hit him? And like, it's like the whole in scrims. There's this. I guess it probably happened in solo queue too. Like 2 players know each other. They just walk up next to each other and don't hit each other. Right? You've seen this.
Yeah.
In scrims, this happens like every game, but bot laners never do it, and Aframu just tries it, and I'm like, should I kill him? He's right in front of me. I call my boys. He's like so bold.
That's fucked up.
I don't even know if it's right to hit him.
The fact that you even think to hit him, that's your brother in arms right there.
Yeah.
You just want to kill his ass. That's real messed up, man.
I want my bush. The bush control is what really matters. Whoever gets the pixel bush level 1 now,
Yeah, that's
You get to
smurfing right
break
there.
the enemy's board level 1.
Yeah, that shit. Dude, I think right now this meta is like, I think there's a question on it coming up for like bot lane, so we'll just wait for it. Yeah.
We're on question number 2.
Yeah, let's go to the next question then.
Let's spend an hour on this one.
Alright, let's start moving then, and we can get to that question, because I just want to hear your thoughts on it, but we'll start off with, Licorice said on Hotline League that you guys lost a lot of scrims leading up into semis. How is the scrim culture during Worlds?
So I guess the first thing to say would be like the scrims during Worlds have a clash of a lot of different regions' play styles. So like I mentioned earlier, NA was very macro oriented. So for example, when we first got there, we would scrim an EU team, and this particular EU team, their mid laner did not like to respect jungle or support. Actually, that's every EU team. I don't know why I'm saying a particular. All the EU teams, their mid laners just don't respect the jungle or support. So you go mid, you kill them. That's all it is. But we like in NA, we like actively discourage Jinsen from doing that stuff, because it's like, come on, Jinsen, you just made it so we can't dive bottom 2 minutes from now. But like these guys are just like turbo inting down mid, you gank them, they go 2 and 9.
Yeah, but is that a good play style?
I mean, I don't think the scrim culture changed. I think that it just combined elements of everyone's play style. So I think every region had something from their region combined. So
see, that's the thing that I don't get is like, how does EU turbo enter mid laners? Like, how's that the culture where it's like, you know what the play style is? Inting mid lane.
You just start ganking, you just all start fighting around mid. It basically became a 3v3 mid, like a lot of the games.
And that's just, they're like, you know what, like, we never had this happen before, let's stop fucking...
No. I think it's just like, initially they might disrespect us, or they might like want to test out the enemy mid laners laning or something. So then like the first few games, they just like run at the enemy mid and fight them. So then like you just bring up your goons, your bot and jungle, and then you rotate on them and punish them. So then, like, next game, they're like, alright, well, they know how to lane, so I'll call my boys now, and you're just like, then you get games where it's like a straight 3v3 mid.
Wait, so that
happened pretty often.
Were the scrims, like, somewhat relatable to, like, on-stage games, or were they just, like, complete... Was it just, like... Because I know for a lot of people, they say scrims and, like, on-stage are two different fucking games. Like...
So... The thing with that is, that was a very big concept before the aggression started happening. So, in scrims, you're aggressive, right? This is what you guys probably know too. In scrims, you're aggressive, you int, you just run it down, you do whatever you want, you try to win every lane. On stage, it's like, you've got to cast it in mid. If any of you push up when the jungler can gank you and you die, you're inting. Like,
yep.
You're not doing that on stage. But in scrims, you have that casted in mid, you're going for that level 3 flash all in. Like, I almost feel like the difference between them got so like hard to see at some point that scrims were basically the stage games. Like, you go for the risky plays on stage.
Oh, damn, really? Holy shit.
Really?
Yeah, I think scrims became a lot more like stage more recently.
Do you think that it's going to continue on to next season? Or do you think that, because I imagine you're bringing back a lot of things that you learned from, like, this World's back to NA. Do you think those are things that will, like, continue on with scrim culture in NA? Or is it just fucking doomed because everyone's just going to play like degenerates again?
I'm not sure. I feel like it depends on how the coaches, like, try to teach their players, too. Because if, like, one coach is like, so this year, the main team that plays, like, super aggressive. So actually, first thing I heard was when we got there, some of the EU players were telling Jensen that they heard our team was full of animals and that we will fight at any point. So, like, we heard that, and then we're like, huh? We don't even fight that much. So we were, like, expecting them not to fight at all. We get in with them, and they fight, like, 2 times more than us. So, like, there's, like, a clear difference between NA scrim culture, I'd say, and EU, and that the amount of fights taken must be very different. Because, like, in NA, we were known to fight a lot. In EU, I felt like we didn't fight. Like, in the EU scrims we played, we didn't fight nearly as much as them. But when we first got there, I think we were actually winning scrims against every EU team. We didn't actually scrim all 3, but most of them.
Wait, so you said that EU teams were a lot less like scrappy in scrims than in NA?
No. EU is very scrappy. They like to fight, whereas NA, we had a reputation of being the team to fight.
Oh, but it was like nothing.
We had a reputation, but it was nothing compared to the EU fights.
Damn.
Yeah, I've always heard that it's different. I honestly, like, Kitty, you want to jump into the next question? We're literally on top of it.
Oh, are we? Okay.
Yeah, we're on top.
When I asked about the difference between EU and NA playstyles, I was told that EU players will go for 50-50s a lot more than NA players. Very big difference between the regions.
I was told this by someone who it was a mid laner. He told me that in scrims against European mid laners, even some in NA, that they will go for like the outplay like always. Like if they think they have the 51 percentile, they'll just go for it. And like a lot of times when like the normal NA mid laners would kind of just like play for like you know the slow lead, the rotation into the 4-man dive. Like that's not how it works for European players. But I that's what I heard. Is there any truth in that?
The European mids definitely went for some crazy fights. Like I'd be watching Jinsen lane in the VOD, and it's like these guys are like just randomly going super aggressive on him. I mean, he would do it he eventually started like bopping them back too, but like at first he was like not doing that necessarily as much. So
wait, so are they just?
I'd say yeah. The EU players are much more aggressive. Not the bot lanes that they sent weren't actually that aggressive, other than Vitality's. Like both Fnatic and G2 were not bot lane oriented teams, so I didn't get to experience it as much. But it was clear in like how their mid and jungles fight around mid that they're very aggressive teams.
Was in scrims like mid lane just a fucking bloodbath 1v1s, like solo kills just happening back and forth, or was it actually like somewhat controlled aggression? It wasn't like complete degeneracy, right? Where it's just like two people going at it. Let's see who fucking kills each other.
I feel like a lot of it came down to the meta where if imagine you're playing like, let's say the meta was like Syndra. It was Syndra, LeBlanc, Lissandra, Aatrox, Irelia. That's most of the world's mids, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So the only champions out of those champs that are safe when behind is Lissandra. Mm-hmm. That's the only single one that's safe when behind. So in scrims, you're usually, like, you would play Lissandra, but usually you're gonna go for, like, the aggressive option. So, like, imagine you have, like, Aatrox versus, actually Ryze too, I forgot Ryze. But Ryze also isn't very safe. So, like, you'd play, like, Ryze versus Aatrox mid, and Ryze is very good at winning the lane, I think. My understanding was, if he didn't get ganked or didn't fall behind, he would win the lane slowly. But eventually it got to the point where it's like, well, the Aatrox is, like, randomly flashing forward, going for, like, the super big outplays. The jungler's just, like, hard camping mid, trying to, like, break open mid for the Aatrox. Because if it happens, it's, like, unplayable. So I feel like a bit of it has to do with the meta champions. Like, if you break open mid for an Aatrox, Irelia, there's Urgot too. Urgot, LeBlanc, any of these champs, Syndra, these champs are going to win you the game. So it's like, I feel like a bit of it was just like, these guys are just fighting because they feel strong more than it's reasonable for us to fight here. I know a lot of the time, I think I watched a bit of Fnatic versus IG, and I watched Fnatic take a 4v3 mid and just win it. I think, so like, even on stage, Fnatic was doing stuff that's like, they know that it's 4v3. Someone's telling them, either Hylissang's maybe like, oh, their support's moving first. And comms, you definitely know it's a 4v3. But then they just go for it anyway. And that's like, Fnatic did that a lot, where they would just take fights that were wild.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense, because like, yeah, this is just such a different meta. I mean, I don't know how it feels for you guys, but like, as an AD player, this is such a different meta than what I'm used to. It's like, I don't even really understand. Because even in solo queue, like, the games are just such fucking bloodbaths. And I guess it's just because the champions that are meta make the game a bloodbath. Like, you can't have let Aatrox just farm. He's just farming up, dude. Don't mind him. Let's just scale until level 16. Like, Aatrox.
I'm looking at... looking at my last solo queue games, it's like Rengar. Like it almost feels like every game there's a champion that can just blow open the game single-handedly.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of Yeah, that's the thing. It's not just one champion that blows open the game. People are picking like in every game. There's like 5 champions that blow open the
I
game.
think the average snowball potential of every meta champion right now is so high topside that like it's disgusting. Like when you give LeBlanc a lead, I don't get to play the game mid lane. Actually, like the Zeyzal gets a 1-0 lead in the jungle, your jungler is reporting you because he's pissed. You know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, like, you can't really say that one factor contributed to it either, because, like, now there's, like, jungle leads matter, because if the junglers can't one-on-one, then one gets all the crabs and the other doesn't.
Yep.
And then it's, like, the junglers that are played are, like, Camille, Zin, Rengar, champs like that.
Yeah,
that are, like, super aggressive when ahead.
Yeah, some disgusting champions being played right now. I guess... Yeah, that makes sense then why there's so much aggression that's happening right now.
Yeah, I feel like if the champions, like all the aggressive champs, so they're doing a remake on the runes, right?
I think so.
So
yeah.
if that like tones down the damage at all,
it will.
Then, like 100%. If it does, then it could be back to like you just playing your Maokai in the jungle, farming for 20 minutes, take your Baron team fight.
I don't know if this is a question.
If you have the better
later.
AD carry, you win that 20-minute Baron team fight.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know if this is another question, but do you prefer that kind of meta or this meta right now? Because I'll say I fucking hate this meta and I can't wait for next season. But I'm curious, do you like the meta the way it is right now?
Honestly, like, the way I've been playing is I end up fighting a lot topside of my map, and it's actually so fun. Just to be, like, a support in a topside fight, you get all these, like, spicy fights.
Wait, what happens to your AD when you're topside?
I don't care about those guys. Those guys aren't gonna do anything anyway. Unless I get him, like, 10-0, he's not gonna ever do anything versus the enemy team comp, I feel.
Yeah, hell no.
The only time I play through lane is if I'm duoed, but, like, so I've been duoing with the jungler Blabber lately. There was one game as Braum, I invaded red, I walked through mid, I pushed mid wave, I went to scuttle, I think I fought the jungler at blue, Blabber died at blue, I went to my red buff, fought the jungler at my red. This is like 3 minutes in the game now. I haven't been to lane once as Braum.
Yeah, what happened to your AD there?
He's just farming up, he was completely fine, and then 15 minutes in the game, he has 130 CS. Enemy AD carry, 130 CS. We won the game. Blabber had like 15 kills.
That does seem... I don't like hearing that shit. That's exactly the opposite of what I want to hear.
It's just like, it's almost like I could lane with my AD, but it's so hard for their champions to out carry the other champion. So when I play with a jungler I'm confident can carry, it makes so much more sense for me to play around them than my AD.
Yeah, no, I mean, I 100% agree with you. If you get like a Xin Zhao ahead, especially early, he can literally just win every lane solo. And he can win the jungle. Like, he can just do everything on his own. It's like, well, what are we going to do, man? If you get like Sivir ahead early, she's going to clear the wave really fast. Like...
That's perfect. That's what you need right now. That's the OP role.
Yeah, but that's not to win the game. So I can definitely understand going for the fucking.
You missed the old saying was 500 CS Sivir win condition. Now it's one shot the wave Sivir win condition.
Yeah, it's fucking.
You don't actually kill them anymore.
Yeah, just hit R and let your fucking Aatrox and Urgot run at them and fucking roll them. Like,
I would say I've had more fun in this meta by playing like into the topside fights, but I can see as like if you're an AD carry, it's probably the least fun meta.
Yeah, no, I definitely think like the topside fight. I mean, the game's a lot more interesting now when it's like all these scrappy champions that just fight 24/7. Cause like, let's be honest, people like watching Aatrox just like 1v9. He like does his third Q, flashes in. He can like he can literally like one shot an AD. Like an AD's like a fucking ant and he just steps on them. Like that shit does 800 damage. Then his passive does like fucking 800 damage and it's like you're dead instantly. So I definitely you can go.
It's like so weird too because like a lot of people see it as like they still say like 4-item AD carry, you're gonna carry the game, but like the champions have such strong kits that you can't really do that. Like, do you ever get a chance to auto attack a LeBlanc as an AD carry? A good LeBlanc would just kill you before you do that.
Yeah, hell no.
Or like just play on the side and then eventually like pick someone. Whereas an AD carry has to like rely on their team, and they're more like they're like running at you straight forward. It's very straightforward what they can do. But like Aatrox, all these champions have like weird outplay potential.
Yeah,
where, like, you can make all these 1v9 plays.
Yeah, that's why I always stress to people is like, if you're playing AD, you need to think about like the fights before they happen. Like an important concept for AD is being able to like conceptualize the fight that you want. Like conceptually, if you're like playing Lucian, how do you beat LeBlanc in a 1v1? You group up with your team. How do you beat Aatrox in a 1v1? How do you beat Urgot, Irelia? Any of these champions in a 1v1, you group up with your team, unless you're disgustingly fucking fed. Like, if you're disgustingly fed, it doesn't fucking matter. But if you're not, you need to fucking group up because they're gonna insta-kill you.
Wait. So say, what do you guys both seem to agree AD carry sucks right now?
Yeah. I think AD carry is the main purpose of the role right now is you put the AD carry in the lane where you need the waves cleared so your side lanes can get advantages. That's like the main role of an AD carry now, but the only exception I think right now, the only AD carry that can impact the game early is like Lucian with the team comp built around him.
Yeah.
Like that's who the champion we felt could impact the game early as an AD carry, and that's why teams that were bot centric were using it, like RNG's bot.
Yeah, I definitely think Lucian is like by far like if you want to carry as an AD, he's basically it's like Lucian or maybe Xayah.
Xayah with Rakan for sure can.
Yeah, like if you don't have,
I would say
those
only
guys,
those two can carry.
All right. How do you fix this problem, or is it even a problem that needs to be fixed?
This is a topic for later, right? Let me see it. Okay, nice. This is the next topic. So we'll just go. Kitty remarked on last BTR, he thinks bot lane is the least important role. What do you think of this? So I'll say I think support and AD are probably the least important. I don't know if you agree with me. Like, I think support can do a lot still, but I don't think that they're nearly as important as like the top side. Like jungle, mid, and top lane, if you have them just like with a lead, it doesn't matter if like your bot lane's got like a 2-0 fucking lead or like 50 CS lead. The Aatrox is just gonna fucking run over you or some shit. Like, what do you think of that, Zeyzal?
I think bot lane is the weakest overall, probably. But I also think support has the ability to impact because they can play with their other lanes. So like, the only time Jensen would like joke around like, oh support, like, oh you're the better support. Oh this support smurfing is like, I gank mid and it's successful. Like Jensen's just so happy and I'm like, yeah, I won the game. Like I get a 2v2 kill bottom and I'm like, I got a 10 CS lead and they just clear the wave under their tower and then all I get to do is like move first. So all I really get out of it is the ability to help my mid laner more, or my jungler more. So like, the way that Svenskaren and I were actually playing the game was we would literally just group up together from like minute 10, and we would play either as 3 with Sneaky, or just play as 2 together, which is like our RNG win. I don't know, did either of you watch that? We had Alistar Talia.
Yep.
I think if we were probably together like 60% of that game. Like we were just trapping everywhere that game, Dennis and I. So like support's kind of only impactful as a role if you can pair up with the stronger roles, which aren't 80 carry, which isn't 80 carry right now, basically. So you have to like find a way to pair up with someone that isn't an 80 carry.
That's what I like to hear.
That's not what I like to hear. Scott, what were you going to say, though, before I interrupted you?
No, I was just wondering, like, do you see, like, a way to fix this? Like, I think Lucian is doing his job. Like, I think that generally speaking, like, he is an early game oriented champion than other ADs, but AD carries have always been, like, a scaling kind of thing. Like, they come in and they kill stuff later, but, like, you know, New Baron, these champions snowballing, like, everyone, the games are end at 25 minutes every game. So like ADs don't get the 3 or 4 items. So
I mean,
is it a solution?
I don't think the problem's like getting 3 or 4. Like you can get to 3 or 4 items. It's just like who gives a shit. Like, let's say you're at 3 to 4 items. LeBlanc has fucking the what's the burst item called that does 100 damage? Luden. She has her Ludens. Morellonomicon, spell the magic pen boots, and like maybe like a death cap or some shit. Your Sivir has whatever stupid ass item she has. Like who's gonna be more impactful in the team fight? Like the Sivir is gonna die literally in half a second. I mean the Sivir will be impactful because she ulties, but like after that it doesn't matter because she dies in like one fucking hit. Like someone looks at her and she's fucking dead. So like, I don't think the problem's getting the items, it's just the items fucking suck now. The items don't make any sense. Like, I feel like Infinity Edge for me, with Last Whisper, doesn't make, like, why do you want an item that gives true damage and then you build Armor Pen? Like, these two stats don't make any sense together, but that's your, like, scaling. So it's like, well, I guess I gotta build this shit, but it's fucking useless as hell, so that's what I'm building. I don't know. I think that the item rework's a big fucking problem for AD, but what do you guys think?
Zeyzal?
I think there's a lot of overtuned individual champions, and I think that the excessive amount of fighting also puts like solo lanes at a bigger EXP lead than intended, because like you get EXP based on what level the opponent is when they die. So like naturally the solo lane, if they kill your solo lane, will be like 3 levels up on an 80 carry. So I think that's part of it. And I also think when I talk to Sneaky, the only items he says have felt good recently are like, he thinks Stormrazor feels pretty good, and he thinks Bloodthirster feels good when you can build it. Yeah. And I think he thinks Bloodthirster is really good, actually.
Yeah, I think
so, like that's an item.
Like I'll say, I think Draven's really fucking good because he builds Bloodthirster and you can build him tanky and he still does damage.
Yeah, I think that's part of. I think Bloodthirster is actually the main reason Draven's good.
Yeah, like
Bloodthirster just seems like a pretty insane item at times.
But the Dravens on my team build Bork first.
Yeah, he's fucking trolling. Yeah, I had Tyler in my game. He built Bork first. He's fucking trolling. Like Bloodthirster, like being able to build tanky makes you relevant in team fights, because it's like most of the time you just die instantly, but now you die like 2 seconds longer.
Then that kind of like was my next statement. Like there's just like a lot of damage in the game that's burst damage that DPS doesn't matter as much either. Like the times you need DPS are like when you're killing a tank, which there's not really people playing many tanks right now, or when you're killing like Baron, which usually you just ace the enemy team to get Baron now.
Yeah. Wait, Zay, do you think it's weird that like before, I think I remember like the way you play bot lane is you take like a lot of poke. Like you poke and then you all in, right?
Yeah.
And it feels like right now if you're playing an all like an Alistar, like do the aftershock, and ignite, you just kill them. Like in the first combo.
Yeah, bot lane's definitely like basically when I play bot lane right now, I just like I only poke them on Rakan from my Spell Thief's Gold. I'm like, they'll be full HP when I all in them anyway. And then I hit level 6, I flash RW, Q ignite them, someone's dead. And then like I play Alistar, I'm like, oh, I don't even care about lane level 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2. So it's like the helicopter approach, you just like press S, and you just like all in them. Level 3 with your like 350 burst damage.
Yeah, so
bot lane's definitely, you just kill him now in one go for sure.
Yeah, like the way I remember bot lane used to be, like if you played Lucian, like the goal was you gotta butter him up, dude. Get some poking, keep getting that poking, get some more poking. Alright, they're below half life, let's go for an all-in. Like, I don't, that like thought process doesn't even like register in my head. It's not like, oh, let me poke him out, dude. Let me get some extra poke.
I think the only time you actually like talk about poke in bot lane is like you're 2v2 against like another professional bot lane. Like, so either scrims or stage, or you just happen to queue into like duo bot. Like poke matters when you're both playing optimally and you both make few mistakes, but now it's like, you just have so much damage that if they inevitably make a mistake, it's a solo queue player. You just kill them all out.
Yeah, because the thing is, like before, you needed that like now it's just slight mistakes that lead into kills. Like if you're slightly out of position and Ali flashes on you, you're fucking dead instantly. Like before, if you're slightly out of position, Ali flashes on you, he probably burns like both your summoners or some shit. Like now it's like insta kill.
It's like I know when I play Rakan into Leona or Alistar, I can basically just tell you when I'm dead, even if I'm full HP. Like, we're equal level. It's 0-0. I'm level 3. Alistar, Leona are both level 3. This is how, like, I'm okay with this. But, like, if I get Leona E'd and his Q stops my first E, I'm dead. So, I know that. Jeez. And then I know I'm dead if I'm playing against Alistar's Rakan, and I line up against the wall, and he manages to side himself with me, headbutts me into the wall with his Eon, I know I'm dead. Yeah. So like these are two things you are dead always, and it's like just something you kind of have to deal with now. It's like, so when I play Rakan into Alistar, I never hug a wall, and if I play Rakan into Leona, I always have to trade my E for his E.
Okay, so what do you think about this? Do you think that if there's more defensive stats or runes early, that the game will be in a better or worse state?
I think there needs to be just less damage. There's too much goddamn damage.
Yeah, I think everything should be reduced down, for sure.
Okay, so their minor runes next patch give you stuff like, 12 MR again. And, like, do you think having defensive, like, more, like, resists or similar things will help the game state right now?
I mean, the thing is, there's still, like, Aftershock and shit, right? They're not getting rid of any of that. Like, I'm pretty sure as an AD, you die instantly. As a support, like, if you proc Aftershock and you get all in, you're basically unkillable. Like...
Yeah, early. It's broken.
Yeah, like, early game, like, level 1 through, like, 5, like, they all in you, you proc Aftershock, the creeps will probably fucking kill them.
So do you think Aftershock should give you 70 armor and MR at level 1?
Hell no. I hate that shit. I mean, Zeyzal probably loves that shit. I hate that shit.
Honestly, I'd be okay with Aftershock being nerfed. I think it would be in combination with, like, maybe finding a better middle ground. Like, maybe you get the extra tank stats, and then, like, Aftershock itself has, like, half the value, but you have a bit more. Maybe you have, like, 10% of that value naturally. Something like that. Because it's definitely, like, when I trade bot lane, my goal is to, like, before I kill an Alistar or a Leona, I burn their Aftershock. That's pretty normal. It's like, that's something you have to do. Yeah. And there's no other, like, rune. I've never heard someone be like, oh, I need to burn his Electrocute before I all in him here. I need to make sure his comment's on cooldown here.
I definitely...
Guardian actually does the same thing bot lane, where, like, if you burn Guardian, I'm actually killable in a lot of lanes I normally wouldn't be, too.
Yeah, the Guardian gives so much move speed, too. Like, that shit's hard as fuck to catch people if they have it up. I mean, I definitely think the minor runes maybe will help, but I don't know. Like, Zeyzal said there's a lot of overtuned champions and shit. I think there's a lot of just bullshit in general in the game right now. So, like, I'm excited for next season. Like, I'll be honest, I fucking hate this season. Like, this season fucking blows. I can't wait for next season. Because I'm sure, like, I don't know about how you guys feel about it, but I think Riot's going to fucking nuke the top side of the map. And when they do, I'm going to be so goddamn happy, dude. I'll be so fucking excited. I'll love it.
I gotta agree. There's no way Riot's just watching the competitive games where people are, like, picking Sivir bot lane and farming for 15 minutes to end the game with, like, 2 kills, and they're like, yeah. This is what we wanted our late game carries to be.
Actually, Riot probably looks at the champion diversity. They're like,
yeah, they love it.
And so, like, for me, I just think the champions are too strong. Like, I'd like there to be a balance of, like, multiple. Like, I think there should be a meta where there shouldn't be a meta where no control mages exist. Like, right now, Ryze is pretty good, right? But, like, he's kind of a weird control
Syndra's
mage.
the only one you can actually play, right?
She's not a control mage. But, okay,
okay.
Kind of. Yeah.
So you're saying, like, Orianna, Xerath, these champs?
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, I feel like those champs should be somewhat viable.
Yeah, Xerath's never gonna be fucking viable. But...
Yeah, they're like no. I used to be able to play stuff like that, but they're like literally.
Well, like GBM could, and GBM pretty much said the same thing. Like GBM's a big Xerath player, right? I don't know if you guys played against him, but
Yeah.
I played.
like I played with GBM, and when I played with him, he could at least pick Xerath, but like he never even pulled it out this year, and that's like his signature champ in a way.
Yeah, I couldn't
So I think
imagine
that's a
playing
good
that
example.
shit against fucking Irel. Like, could you imagine how god awful that matchup was?
Yeah, I played Ziggs into Akali once. I think I literally got.
Oh god.
I think I went like 06 or something. It was super bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually even worse because like right now I feel like top and mid just kind of like farm the autofilled players because like I'm going top. So first thing like I'm going top because I get autofilled in solo queue, right? I pick my Singed. They pick their Irelia, and I'm just like, how do I play this matchup? Just running around with my poison. I'm used to laning against like, I guess in a normal meta it'd be like Rumble. Rumble's real straight. Like this is my worst lane in a normal meta. It's just like a Rumble or Rise. And instead it's like, Irelia hit me with her E. I'm probably I'm dead.
Yeah,
2 seconds later.
She insta kills you with that shit. Like the amount of damage
like,
that champion does is actually insane.
If you look at the number of solo kills at Worlds and you eliminate Aurelia solo kills, I think the number decreases by like 20%. Like,
yeah,
it's actually insane.
It's definitely true. Like Irelia is a bit broken in terms of kill pressure early, but like LeBlanc probably decreases that number too, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
yeah.
LeBlanc's fucking gross as hell. Dude,
I guess you can just list all the strong.
Literally every champion. Like it's not like it's a secret. That's why, like you guys saw like the patch that they just did 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I saw that patch and I'm like, what the fuck are these people on? Like, what? They nerfed 7 champions. That was it. Like literally the patch, 7 different champions, and that was it.
It's because the season's over in 7 days, so they're just.
Yeah, that's what they were telling me too.
But then they nerfed Pyke all the way, so I thought that was kind of weird.
They butchered. Wait, this isn't a question, but I'm curious. What do you think about that Pyke nerf? I think they fucking butchered that champion.
That's what I was like. Pretty much saying I ran the numbers on stream and pretty much every ability is just straight worse unless I ran the numbers for 100 AD because that's pretty reasonable for a Pyke to get in a normal game, right? That's like at most value. I ran it with like 100 AD. You're basically never going to get even more than like 20% more damage, but you lost all your tank stats and your passive ends up healing even less. So it's like probably a straight maybe I would say it should reduce his win rate by like 10% or something. That's no, not 10%. His win rate by like 5%. I was saying 10% of what it is, so it's like 52. It should be like 47. It's a pretty big nerf.
You think that he's garbage as hell now, though? Because I'm pretty sure they like.
I already thought Pyke. I keep saying it. Pyke ult is the dumbest ability in the game. If you cannot flash a Pyke ult, you are one of the worst players in the game.
My god. Don't tell that to my enemy team, dude. Come on.
Yeah, no, it's like, my team's playing against Pyke, and they like get hit by a Pyke ult, and they have flash up, I'm like, I go for the same exact Pyke ult, it gets flashed, and I'm just in the middle of the enemy team on top of their full HP Irelia now. Actually, I'm just terrified of Irelias, honestly. It could be any champ, but basically, like, you should dodge Pyke ult, and that's most of the champion.
I see. You don't even think he needed this nerf then?
No, I think Pyke needed a nerf just because the playstyle was dumb. It was pretty hard to punish. Like you have a frozen, you're like too tanky to die, and you have too much mobility.
Yeah, I don't think a Pyke should be able to start like E first into Q to get picks and not be able to be punished. Like I think that was a really bad playstyle for the assassin support.
Yeah, his playstyle was dumb as fuck. I don't know. I'm just surprised that they went through with that nerf because I feel like that pretty much removes any chance of viability.
The time warp tonic nerf, excellent, right? I needed this.
Oh yeah. I'm happy about that one for sure.
Holy shit! Like, they butchered it. It's terrible except for in the first 3 levels of like skirmishes, but like, thank God, that shit. When you're playing mid lane against like. Double Dark Seal Corrupting Potion Echo or something. You're just like, come on, dude.
The only sad part is my off roll was singed. I don't think that's really a thing anymore, right? I feel like I just
you can off roll to Urgot, dude, or off run to Scion. Right now, Scion.
I did Scion.
That's a
actually
good pick
disgusting.
right there. That's
Yeah.
what I like to hear.
That's kitty software too.
Yeah, if I
Oh.
played more Scion than fucking AD, I'd be so goddamn happy. But I hate myself, so I continue to play AD. I love every
Korea,
second.
my most played was Scion when I first started, and I was 100% win rate Scion in like D1 challenger queues. But
Wow,
then
really?
I realized my problem was I built up an ego then, and then I started trying to play like aggressive, and then I started feeding, and then my stat dropped.
Feels bad, man. Hey,
Yeah.
I respect that though. 100% win rate, Scion. That's pretty fucking good. But let's go now to the next
Skip the next
topic.
question. Skip it instantly. Let's go to the last one.
Alright, let's go to the last one then. So I heard from the grapevine that teams like C9 are looking to start scrims at the end of November. What are your plans for the small off season before the grind hits
Whoa.
again?
Before we get back into this, I hear this is one. I think this is crazy. You guys are starting so soon, and you guys went to Worlds. So, can you confirm if this is true?
So I got permission to confirm it.
Okay.
Earlier today. So yeah, the Korea trip. The plan is November 25th to December 21st. We will be scrimming and practicing in Korea. And we just got back from Korea, I think October 29th.
Oh, so you're going back there to boot camp
Holy
again?
shit.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, wow.
So, and I've already spent 78 days in Korea this year. Just so that'll put me at 100 plus days in Korea.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Yeah, I'll be in Korea for over 100 days.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 19.
You're 19.
Wow.
Is this like...
Yeah.
Is this like somewhat shocking to you or anything? Because like I remember when I first went to Korea, I played in like OGN with like Scott. When we first went there, it was like, oh my god, dude, this is crazy. We were like 19, 20. Like you're gonna be in Korea for like half the fucking year almost now. Like is that?
It's like it was the first time. The first time I went to Korea, so this will be the fourth time for me in Korea. And the first time I went to Argentina, which was like 2016, so I was like 16 at the time. It was early 2016.
You went to Argentina?
Yeah, I was doing the grunt work of the org, like the little random sponsorships at the end of the year while the real players are practicing. I'm in Argentina playing the Logitech G Challenge.
What the fuck? They had it. Wait, that's so fucking random though. They had it in Argentina, a Logitech.
Yeah, I guess it's been there. It was there in 2014 too. But yeah, so I was just there having fun.
Damn.
And it wasn't even a real tournament. We were just kind of there to be there. It was like we got there, we had one day of scrims, and we didn't actually have a computer to scrim on. So we scrimmed at a bar that had 5 computers there.
Dude, let me say,
high jungle.
I know that fit. What was the date you did that? You said 2014?
2016, but there was a 2014 one too.
Okay, yeah, because like I remember when me and Scary used to do like the random sponsorship bullshit. Yeah, it was like an afterthought. Us like they just send us there, and then it's like, well, what do you want us to do? I don't know, just do some shit. And then it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
do your thing. No, the best like do your thing, and I'm like, what? My thing. Okay.
yeah, and then it's just like, well, I guess we're just here to fucking like stare at the wall for the entire day. That sounds great.
Yeah, honestly, it was a pretty short trip, but like, all we did was like walk around for most of it. And then on the day of the tournament, what happened was we had to play on the live servers, but the venue was getting DDoSed. we were placed immediately in the we were placed in the finals immediately. For whatever reason, we were the finalists. So we go into the finals, and on the left side of the setup, the venue, the sun is glaring straight on our monitors. So with the sun's glaring, so the blacks are so black that the fog of war, it looks like you can't see anything in it. So the fog of war, it's like I'm terrified to go in it. It's like straight black. And we were winning the first game, and then they paused. They were like, "Hey, can you guys pause? We're up like 5K at this point at like 10 minutes, right?" I think it was a best of one.
Yeah.
For whatever, this was a weird setup. It was like finals, best of one.
Okay.
they paused. They're like, our spectator client crashed, and then we're like, so do you have a backup spectator or what? They're like, no, we're gonna have to remake this game. So we're 5K up with a composition that only wins early, and then they just farm up. They have Caitlyn Ivern, and like right after Ivern came out, and it was like, Ivern was pretty broken, yeah. Yep. They just farmed up, and then they won the game like 40 minutes in.
Dude,
High went like 0-10 on his Shyvana jungle.
They sent High there too to Argentina?
Yeah, High was there with the boys doing the grunt work. I respected that. He was down on the ground with the troops.
I could not fucking do that shit ever again. I'll say that was like my favorite thing when like LCS started getting going. Is like I never had to do any of that bullshit again. Would you want to go to like one of those Argentinian venues to like do that stuff again, or are you done with that now?
Honestly, I'd be fine with it if they actually like ran it in a way where it's like feasible to play there. Like no glare.
Dude, I feel like that shit is never done correct. It's
never done properly. That's what Sneaky was telling me about. He was like, "There's something always wrong at the third party venues. You just can't trust them."
Yeah, that shit is always dude. Like God, when Odie would tell us you need to do this, I'm just like, fucking kill me, dude. Hell no. I fucking thank God we're past that.
Wait. Let's talk about the good stuff. Oh, I assume it's the good stuff. You're going to Korea for 100 days this year. Do you like Korea? Like, how is Korea for you?
Korea's not bad. It's not exceptional. Like, it looks super nice, and it's like you can walk anywhere in the areas we're in. So it's like no matter the time, you can just like walk to a CVS or something, which is nice. Like certain parts of LA, I'd imagine you wouldn't want to just like walk out of your house at like 2 a.m. and walk to a CVS, but like Korea, I always felt safe doing that.
You don't think Korea's exceptional though? Because I loved Korea. I actually
really liked it the first time I went, but I feel like the high pressure situations have like neutralized the fun of Korea. Like
that makes sense.
I only go there when I'm like expected to grind solo queue so much. That it's like, when I think of Korea, I'm thinking like, oh no, I gotta play 300 solo queue games in 20 days. Oh no, on top of scrims.
Do they have a limit, or do they have like, you need to play this many solo queue games, or you just like using that?
So we have that during the regular season, because people tend to slack during the regular season.
Oh really?
Just like week 1 to like 6 of LCS. People tend to slack, I think.
How many solo queue games are you required to play?
So on top of scrims, we're required to play 21 a week.
Oh, that's not bad.
Nothing insane.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be like some slave labor shit, like 100 games
like
a
60 a week or something like that.
The average for most people was around like 27, and that's pretty good. Like,
yeah,
because you scrim triple blocks pretty often, and you only have one off day, and then you have 2 stage games. So you play 6 scrim games at minimum, and then you play usually 3 or 4 solo queue games. 10 games a day on top of like 2 hours or 3 hours of VOD review.
Oh, that's pretty good then. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I'm just surprised though that like, because for me, Korea is like always the funnest thing, but I guess we never had like a high pressure, because the highest pressure thing was OGN, and like, let's be honest, back in the day, no one gave a shit. So it's like,
wait, I cared about OGN.
You cared.
First pick Eric or Soraka every game. That was just.
The games were doomed. Our bot lane was fucking terrible, but like, no one gave a shit. Dude, CLG, they barely fucking played it all. Like, we were just fucking trolling half the time.
I guess it's true. Like, I remember more of like the experience. Like, I remember walking to CLG's room and Chaucer was like, I majored in nutrition, and I walk over to his desk, and him and like the CLG guys built a pyramid of McDonald's takeout, a literal pyramid from the floor to like above the desk.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Honestly, I feel like when I remember most of my boot camps, it's like less about the place I'm in and more about the interactions with my teammates.
That's true, yeah.
That's probably like what you guys remember too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
So like, I don't remember like anything for the uniqueness of where I'm at, but more so
I still remember. I still remember the layout. I don't know. I mean, I imagine they got you in better places now, but I remember the place that we stayed at. Sky, you probably remember this too. We step outside. There'd literally be. It was like we were staying in like a. I don't know what it would be called, but it's like the place that you go to drink and like find. It was a love hotel, I think, is what my editor told me.
Love hotel.
Yeah, so it was like we'd literally go outside and there were like millions of these cards with like women pictures on it with their numbers or shit. You know what? You remember what I'm talking about, Scar, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just like women cards all over the place. The whole street was like lined with like the
Drinking.
Yeah, drinking and the like
fried chicken places and bars.
Yeah,
like,
and
So
yeah,
this year Riot put us in like the nicest hotels in each city, I think, that they could get.
Oh, really?
But then our scrim rooms were actually pretty tragic because it's like, so they get you one hotel room as a scrim room, and now you have 6 players and usually like at least 3 or 4 staff. So you have 10 people in one hotel room with 7 desks, a TV, 7 monitors, 7 PCs.
That must get hot as fucking.
It was so hot. It was 82 degrees in our scrim room the whole time.
Dude,
and
what
to
the
get to the
fuck?
bathroom, you had to go through the middle of everyone's chairs.
Wait, so you're saying Riot was treating you nice, but C9 let you down?
No, because Riot books the scrim rooms too and sets them up.
Oh, okay. Oh, so
they
Riot
gave
just
us
let you
the
down.
actual nicest hotel rooms. Like our rooms were so nice, but then our scrim room, the place that actually matters, was like that's where they didn't treat us super well on. It's like
fucking Riot games.
Why would you give us? You get these like super nice rooms. They're massive. They're well equipped with everything, but we're in them 8 hours a day to sleep. That's all. And then our scrim room's just super hot. No room in there.
Dude, that's Riot in a nutshell, man. Like,
you got a little bit of that slave, like.
Yeah, they gotta keep you humble. I feel like that's what Riot does best, is like, they always make sure that you stay humble by like, fucking some shit up. Dude, I'll say...
they were trying to help us out. They got us they had to buy an external AC, and this thing took up the whole bathtub in the scrim room, and it was massive. we had to change the water, we had to empty this water thing out of it every 8 hours.
Dude, that's pretty funny to hear though, because I went to this Riot thing. Like, I'm doing some WWE thing with Tyler. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but
I've seen some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, you seen some of it. I went to the hotel that they booked for me or whatever, and Riot paid for the hotel, obviously or whatever. So I go to check in. They tell me they need my card to for incidentals or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Of course.
I give them my card and they just tell me the card didn't work. I was like, what are you talking about? How this card didn't work? They told me my Riot Games credit card got denied. The fucking card that Riot Games booked the hotel with got denied, so I had to put my fucking card on the hotel to pay for it.
They just knew you were rich enough to handle it, dude.
Like that right there, I'm telling you, that's my Riot Games experience every time. Every time, I love this company, I love the game, they fuck it up every single fucking time. Just hearing that with you, Zeyzal, is just add another one to the fucking list, dude. Another fuck
It's so
up.
weird, because it seems like some things they're doing so well too along the way, and then just scrim rooms got to be set up in this way, I guess.
Dude, I love that company though. God bless them. But let's go on now. Let's get the final topic underway, ladies and gentlemen. The final topic being the live question and answer segment. You guys got questions. We got answers. So let's start off. This is a great topic, number one. Number one, ASOL Mains wants to know, what do you think of Riot's tendency to make mild changes, -3 AD, -5 movement speed? And do you think they went too far with taking 50 HP from ASOL then changing Time Warp? And then he also asked Zeyzal and Skara, do you think Sweaty ASOL has chance of going pro?
So, I guess the first part was the minor changes, right?
Yeah.
So I think minor changes, I've heard that a lot of the time Riot changes don't even affect much. Like there was a time that they tried to buff a champion and they didn't actually put the buff through, and then the champion's win rate and play rate both went up. Like that's a story I've heard, and I think Rioters have confirmed it.
Yeah,
but, like,
they say
I
that
feel like
story
those
all the
nerfs are
time.
almost just to like placebo decrease the win rate. They're just like, are you sure Irelia is broken? Let me make sure. I'm gonna remove 5 move speed from Irelia, and
No,
if people still play Irelia, then it's OP.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I think a lot of the times they do those changes, it's just like they give their reason, and obviously, like, half the time, the reason's bullshit. Like, we had the guy come on the show, and he was like, this -3 AD to Graves is huge. You don't understand how much of a difference it makes. Let me go through the list. And he just started listing stuff off, and, like, obviously, I'm gonna agree with him, because I'm not gonna be like, wait, you're a fucking idiot. Why the fuck are you on this show? What are you talking about, dude? Like, I agree with him, but it's like, they talked about, even Scar, you talked about the win rate, and you were like, Graves' win rate actually went down. This seems like a great nerf. You guys did it again.
Whoa. I said it would seem like a harder hitting nerf than I expected. But then I also expected the nerf not to matter. Which is completely, like, to be honest, that nerf is bigger than, like, the 5 move speed nerf on Irelia and the 10 damage nerf off LeBlanc's W. I saw that shit, right? That shit was bullshit. Just don't even touch it.
Yeah. No, I definitely think they do a lot of nerfs where they know full well the nerf doesn't fucking matter at all. They're just doing it to be like, is he broke? Is he really broken? Oh, he's really broken, I guess. Well, shit, dude. I guess we gotta actually nerf him. And like, I mean, for me, it's part of that and part of, I think that they're trying to sell the champions. And what do you want to buy more? An Irelia skin or a fucking, like, skin of Wukong? Probably Wukong in China, and it'd be a great skin. But, like, people want to buy Irelia. Like, people like Irelia. Irelia sells. Let's fucking buff Irelia, dude. I don't know. That's just me.
It could be skin sales. I'm not even sure. It's like, I almost feel like they do it just to, like, please people. They're just like, yeah, I'm gonna go. They make a list. What champions are looking a bit strong right now? And then they figure out what's the least we can do to make these champions just as broken, but still make people think we nerfed them. And then the conclusion was 5 move speed on a champion that has 20 dashes.
Yeah, no one looked at that 5 movement speed nerf. I'm telling you, no one was like, this is a great nerf, Riot. You nailed it. Exactly what Irelia needed.
It's
right
so
here.
funny because that nerf happened. I turned on TF Blade's stream. I'm like, I wonder how much this matters for his stream. He didn't buy boots till 24 minutes when I was watching his game. I'm just like, alright.
Yeah, like,
alright.
Like, the reason they gave for it is just so stupid and like, I don't know, man. I just think those kinds of nerfs.
No.
Oh, you can go.
I think actually they got scared of nerfing too much because people got pissed that there was too much change. And then like, they were just like, okay, you know what? Mid-season onwards, we're not going to touch shit. I think before mid-season, they were actually like really heavy-handed here and there. Like, the meta switched very rapidly all the time, and then like the scuttle change, like the bot lane ADs got nerfed, or like the bot lane ADs got super buffed like 3 times, right? And like they were really heavy-handed with nerfs, and their feedback from players was like, we don't like this, stop doing this. And then they got scared. And they got really scared. I'm hoping that their preseason, like, they're less scared so they can change shit, because I think they need to.
Yeah, I agree with you. They probably were scared. I think that the preseason will be a pretty important time because, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think this is a good meta for, like, viewers if you play, like, a solo lane. Because, like, people love watching, like, these solo lanes, they have so much in their kit to outplay. Like, when you watch an AD outplay, it's like, damn, he moved really well. When you watch, like, an Irelia outplay, it's like, she's queuing all over the place. What the fuck is going on? I don't get it, dude. Like, that shit looks cool as fuck. Watching an AD, like, subtly sidestep an ability is like, wow, nice job. You fucking right-click, dude. So, I don't know. I hate to say that I think that Riot will not do as much as they should for this meta, and I hope that they do, but, like, this meta is good for viewership, I think, so I don't know. I can understand why they don't want to nerf it.
Fuck AD carries, dude.
No, fuck
Yeah.
you.
It definitely feels like solo lanes are fun to watch. Even like for me as a support and a professional player, I have fun watching solo lanes. Like, I'll watch Jensen versus anyone, and I'll have fun doing it because it's like it's gonna be spicy. They're Jensen versus another strong laner. I'm gonna have fun watching that matchup. And like Licorice versus another strong laner, I watch it all the time just because like it's not as fun to watch bot lanes for sure right now.
Yeah, because bot lanes like at least before, bot lane was like a battle of like inches. It's like, oh nice, I got a nice little poke right there. Let me see what I can. Ooh, I got another nice poke right there. I'm really poking this guy down. With like solo lanes now, it's like, I landed my E as Aurelia, I'm gonna one-shot you. It's just like, that shit's more entertaining than watching Lucian Q spam you and do 80 damage over and over again. Like, I don't know. Speaking of that though, the next question, BMF wants to know, what is your ideal meta and what do you think the direction of the game should go for next season? So I'll start off by saying, I think my ideal meta is obviously bot lane focused. I want my lane to be relevant. I think in an ideal world, this is going to blow a lot of people's minds. In my ideal world, I want people to have designated, now follow me here, this is going to lose a lot of people. I want people to have designated strengths and weaknesses. So like right now, what's Aurelia's weakness?
The band phase.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has -5 movement speed too. That's a pretty big weakness. What's Aatrox?
Yeah, you can't really travel.
Yeah. Like Aatrox's weakness, Urgot's weakness, LeBlanc's weakness. Like these are champs where it's like, outscale them, dude. It's okay. They're just early game. Yep, you're gonna really outscale fucking Urgot when he has 3,000 health, or like 3-second 500 health shield. Does 10% of your health every auto attack. Really outscale the fuck out of this guy. Like, I think that champions should have designated strengths and weaknesses. I can understand why Riot doesn't want that because, you know, I think Riot wants everything to be homogenized and every champion to basically be the same because strengths and weaknesses aren't like super fun. Like, it's not fun to be like, I need to wait until I'm stronger. It's more fun to be like, I'm always strong. I want to fight. Fight, fight, fight. I love fighting. So, in my ideal world, more strengths and weaknesses, please. And bot lane focus. Zeyzal, what's your ideal world?
I think it's definitely better to have champions like that where if they are strong early, they should be weak late, things like that. If they have kill pressure in lane, then they should struggle in some way, like be extremely gankable or something like that. And I think the ideal way they would take the meta is to make it so, I think first be like Baron shouldn't be quite as strong as it is. It should be nerfed in some way. They nerfed it like, you could see how truly strong Baron was, like the banner meta made it even worse, like just seeing how strong creeps could be. So like, I think the first thing they should touch is like, how Baron creeps work, because they're just too strong as it is. And then I think that alone could probably open up some 80 carries to be played again that scale for late. Because if you don't instantly lose the game when they get Baron, then you can scale longer. And I would say it would be nice to nerf some of the tank stats on the big bot lane tanks like Braum, Alistar, Leona, just so that might open up more mages to be played bot lane.
Yeah,
since that also promotes.
I remember you used to
lane.
always play as Zyra. Do you still play her? Do you have a special place for her, or is she just garbage?
No. So what happened was I really liked Zyra, and then they made that random change where it's like your plants get one shot by melee champs. So it's like the tankiest champion in the lane can one shot my plant when it does. I trade my plant for 27 damage on him. I'd get 27 damage on him, and he just whacks my plant, and it's gone. And I had to use an 8-second cooldown, 50 mana for that, and technically a plant, a seed. So now Zyra's doomed. That change alone made me drop Zyra.
Oh, you just think that she's absolute trash now?
I'm not sure. I'm kind of, so what happened was I was like 13 kill Zyra, versus an Irelia right after Irelia Q changes. And I was team fighting. I was like 13 kills, so I'm super fed. I'm carrying the game. And the Irelia figures out halfway through the game that his Q one-shots my plants.
Oh yeah, it's free
So I get like 4 plants up in a fight. And have you played Irelia? The Q, when you spam it, will instantly go off.
Yeah.
Like there's no wait time. So you can one-shot a whole wave in like half a second. He did that to my plants, and I never played Zyra again after that. I just refused. I was like, nope.
Wait,
this change is the worst thing ever.
It works on if you ulti and empower your plants, they also get one shot by melees or no?
No. Then they have, I think it's 8 health as opposed to 4.
Okay.
So they wouldn't get one shot, but yeah, I would have to.
Yeah,
have to buff my plants.
I didn't realize that Aurelia. I didn't even know that the plants get one shot by melee. So I'm gonna be honest.
I forgot about that change because no one plays Zyra.
Yeah, I laned against the Zyra a while back. I think someone was playing it in scrims, and I was playing Braum, and I think I poked him harder than he poked me just by whacking his plants, giving him some cues.
I respect that. Scar, in an ideal world, what's your meta?
I want multiple playstyles and champions to be played. I think right now it's like very restrictive. I think even though the meta is good for viewers, I think right now like a lot of what makes it strong is because they're super OP champs, and a lot of the off meta champs can't be played. And so I wanted it to be healthy meta with assassins, like like bruisers, control mages, stuff mid lane, and range supports bot lane. Like I think having those is like a really nice combination. I also think that's probably impossible. So just a pipe dream.
All right, fair enough. We'll go with one last question, which Shoots wants to know, and this is at all of us. So Scouting Grounds is coming up with Zeyzal, and with Zeyzal coming from an org that really benefited from it the past season, who are some of the players at this year's Scouting Grounds that you feel will break out next season? And he gave a list of the players. I can read it off to you if you want. Or you can...
I have it open.
Oh, you have it open? Alright.
Yeah.
I'm opening it right now. Don't worry, I got you.
Alright. Well, I guess bot lane, is there any bot laners that stand out to you? I mean, I'm excited to watch Consensual. Duo King's Consensual, right?
Yeah, that's Consensual.
Alright.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Duo Queen 1 and Duo King are both Consensual Clown.
Wait, he's a lot nicer now.
Yeah.
No. I just saw him hard flaming yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
I haven't
He's
seen him
tame around
flame.
Streamers, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't actually know, but I saw him flaming yesterday.
I'm excited. I'll say I'm excited for Duo King, Misty Stumpy, Fragus, Metaphor.
Oh, yeah. I love Fragus.
Yeah.
I'm down for that one.
Those are probably the 4 players. Meta, Fragus, Misty Stumpy, and Duo King. Those are the 4 players that I'm probably most excited about to watch.
Can you link me, Cutie, on this?
Yeah, I can link you. Is there anyone that you're excited for, Zeyzal in particular?
So, I haven't played with Tactical much, but his Yasuo popped off on my team earlier, so if he can play Yasuo AD carry, I think it's broken. I want to see that.
I messaged you as
Cloud
Scar.
is probably the best player. What was that?
I was saying, Scar, I PM'd you on Discord. Okay. Wait, you think Clown is the best player at Scouting Grounds this year?
Looking at this list, I would say that he has the potential to be the best. I don't know. See, with Clown, I'm scared that he's just gonna... He seems so good because he can switch to... He's played top lane, Fiora, he's insane at. He was insane at Caitlyn and Sivir. Any player that can swap roles like that to just random champions and pick them up and be super good at them should be really good, but I feel like he could also just he has a bit of an ego, so I'm scared he might refuse to accept that he has to play with his team as a support. So I feel like that might be interesting.
Yeah, I'm hoping, I love his Sona, but I don't want to see him play Sona every game. I'm hoping he, whips out, actual support champions, but that...
Yeah, I played against a Soraka the other day and made him go 0-10, So
Yeah, like I
I
know.
remember Soraka like season 4 was insane though.
Yeah, he loves playing the like Soraka Sona. I don't know if he plays like the tanks. I honestly, I
He
don't think
played
I've.
Leona and played well today.
Did he? Okay, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen him play like Alistar. I think I've seen him play Braum. I don't know if he plays Ali and shit though. So it should be interesting to watch him. I mean, Misty Stumpy. I'm excited to watch him because like if people don't know. He has one fucking hand. Like I don't know how else to phrase it. He has one fucking hand, dude. Like this.
He's a monster.
Yeah, and he plays like Fiora, Jace. He plays champions that like they go hard. Like he's got to fucking stomp people. So like I want to just see what the fuck this guy can do at like an actual event. That sounds so fucking like interesting. I'll be honest, none of these ADs I give a shit about. And I'll be completely honest too. I think most like challenger ADs, like scouting grounds, like all this shit, I think they're all fucking garbage. I think my role's garbage though, and I'm garbage too because I'm master, so I won't even like, there's no, I know I'm straight trash, 100%. But like, what's your take on it, Zeyzal? Are these any ADs? Prismal, people have talked about him a lot. I mean, Jurassic, people have talked about. Any of these like exciting for you, other than tactical?
Prismal has had a lot of moments where I thought he was really good, but then like he just drops off again and goes to D2 or something. It's like so weird. But then like. Tactical, like I said, played a really good Yasuo game where he looked good, but I haven't played with him beyond that. And then Jurassic, he's a nice guy, and he never really seems to like carry the games I've played with him though. But he's also the highest ranked AD consistently.
Yeah, that tilts me. I love this guy. I don't want to go on another fucking rant. I like the guy, but like...
I'm bringing him on the show next week, dude.
Shut up.
You can explain to him why he sucks, man.
No, I don't know. I don't know how he's
again.
the highest ranked AD. Like, maybe I'm just like out of it. Like, what do you think, Zeyzal? Because you play bot lane. Like, what do you think makes him like the best AD in North America?
I mean, when I like in terms of rank, I think it might be. I never really see him like even when he's behind. I've never seen him like chain feed. You know, I watch your stream.
Oh, I chain feed too goddamn much.
So I got into where I am right now, Illinois, and I didn't have a setup where I could play League. I had like terrible setup, so I'm watching my I'm a Cutie Pie stream. And I watched you that day, and I calculated your average deaths that game, and it was 8.4 after 5 games. And you won one of the games where you were like 0-9 on Sivir, and you were just like laughing it off while you chain feed, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm a Cutie Pie's checked out a bit. Gotta be honest.
Hell no, dude. No, hell yeah, dude. I'll be honest. Some days I'll play solo queue, and it's just like, whew. It's gonna be a long day of solo queue, dude. I'm sure we've all had that though.
It might be just when he plays, he does his best to not like lose his team the game, which I think is a good thing to do in solo queue. If you play one of the weaker roles, but if you're like a jungler that tries that, you will lose every game.
Yeah, that's auto fucking lose.
Yeah. So I mean, I would just say that's it. Probably he just plays smarter than trying not to lose his team the game when he falls behind or things like that.
Are you excited for any of these mid laners, Skara? I don't know anyone other than Strong.
I only know 3 of them. I actually have not seen them play, but I'm also really low elo, so of course I wouldn't see any of these. Do you know anything about Five Fire, Zeyzal? Or
I think I played into him as a support, but I didn't even know he was a mid laner.
like I was told Sir Kenji was a support, and I see him.
No, he is.
Yeah, he
is a support.
He is a support.
What?
I think he queues for Phil or some shit, or maybe he queues for jungle.
He played a second as a jungler, dude. This guy's a beat. I met Sir Kenji at TwitchCon, so he was pretty cool. I'm actually most excited for like the same people QD is. Like I'm excited, not for the mid laners. Maybe some interest in Five Fire because I'm not sure what he plays.
What do you guys think? You know the third top on the list is Flares, right?
Oh, Aethers or whoever that is?
Wait,
yeah.
Really?
That's Flares, yeah.
Oh, what the fuck? Damn, he name checked. He's eligible for scouting grounds. I thought he was on an academy.
The last time No, he hasn't ever played Academy. His last time he played was OPL, and he played OPL 7 months ago.
Oh, was that when he played with, who's the AD that plays Jinx? He played with that guy, right?
He played a year and 7 months ago.
Oh my god!
Wow, that was a long time.
He still stuck around. Yeah, I respect that, dude. I'm glad he stuck it through. I just kind of want to see where Clown and Froggus go. I think Froggus is funny. A funny fucking guy.
Froggus is actually hilarious. I love Froggus.
Yeah, I think
he's actually the biggest troll. Every game I run into him, I just flame him in all chat, and then he comes back with some stupid flame. You just can't bully him. Like earlier, you can go.
I just know when he hit rank 1, he took a screenshot instantly. It's his pin tweet, and I look, and it's just like 50 Ivern games. I'm just like, I start laughing. It's like it's not the champion I expected him to main. You know?
Yeah, he beast modes on Ivern. He's actually pretty good at that shit. Yeah, like, I'll be honest, I'm not that excited for the scouting grounds list. Like, I don't think that, like, if I saw these teams right here, I'd be like, NA's fucking doomed. But like,
I would say, like, if I was, let's say I'm unaffiliated, like, with Cloud9, or just I'm on a team that actually needs players for Academy, like, so I'll say the most promising players would be, like, I would go, like, Clown for support, probably Prismal for AD, Strumpus for mid, and then, like, Metaphor jungle, and then top would be hard, but, like, probably Misty Stumpy. It's hard. I don't actually know how good Fake Out is, but, like, those are the 5 players, like, without any personal attachment in terms of what Scouting Grounds is for, which is, like, players that aren't quite ready but could be good. I would pick those 5.
Dude, Metaphor is so funny, actually. He has like a top 10 challenger account, and then I play with him on his like Diamond 1 account, and I swear to God he cannot, like, it's like low Masters Diamond 1. He cannot climb on that one, but on his other account he's like 20-0 every game. I'm like, what is going on?
yeah, I mean, to be fair though, like, some of the champions junglers play like Xinjia or Camille. They need laners that like actually do well, because I mean, if you don't have a laner that you can actually level 2 gank for, it's actually fucking doomed. Like, you just can't do anything. So,
also, you gotta calculate the Clown duo in the Metaphor games. When they duo, Clown queues mid top.
What?
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happens. And then I think a lot of those games might be losses.
That's fucked up. Hey, is Meta and Clown brothers? They're not, right?
No, they're just buds.
Alright. I remember
nothing.
Dude, Dom told me that they were brothers, and that shit, like, fucking, I've literally asked him every time, and he's never given me a straight answer. That shit's got me fucked up for so long, so it's good to know now for certain they're not fucking related at all. But anyways, that's gonna conclude Beyond the Rift episode number 5008, starring the one and only, our special guest, Zeyzal. Zeyzal, thank you for being here. Sorry for taking so much time. Didn't realize this episode would run so fucking long, but for the people that want some more Zeyzal action, where can they get more of you?
Well, I have my Twitch channel I've been streaming on every day at Zeyzal, and then my Twitter also at Zeyzal, and then my YouTube also at Zeyzal. There's a whole lot of action there.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Scar, if the people want some more of you, where can they get you?
I'll be streaming right after this, but I mean, I really think, if you guys like Zeyzal, you should check him out. I'm really happy he came on the show, even after one of our hosts flamed the shit out of him in our last episode.
Hey, nothing personal. Let me just say, I flamed Olay. I flamed Olay, and he became really good. And now my flame, like, this is the thing in solo queue. I always tell people, it's never personal when I flame you. I'm just trying to make you a better player.
And I sound like Dom.
It's fine. Dom and Scar defended me, so I've got 2 of the trifecta of NA streamers. I'm good to go.
Yeah, like, Zeyzal, he's been touched by everyone now. Like all the NA streamers believe in him. I believe in him somewhat.
So he's gonna be MVP next season.
Yeah, Zeyzal will be MVP next season without a doubt. But don't let it go to your head. See, that's the thing. I'm keeping you humble too. Like you did well, but like you gotta have someone that's there to be like, you didn't do that good. So in the back of your mind, you're like, I can always improve. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta hear Cutie Pie's Zeyzal is fucking garbage in the back of my mind.
Yeah,
every time I go on stage.
About being a little cocky, yeah. That's what Cutie's doing.
Yeah, thanks, Cutie.
Hey, no problem. That's what I'm here for. Trust me, dude, I do it to a whole lot of people in solo queue. And Lord knows that helps. See, that's the thing. Let me just say, the reason why I can't get out of Masters, I don't have anyone to do that for me. That's the biggest problem. No one ever wants, Cutie, you're fucking garbage. Yeah, I read my chat, but I don't give a shit what any of these dumb fucks say. I need someone in my game to be like, Cutie, you stupid fuck, what the fuck was that? So I can be like, damn, you're right, I am stupid as fuck, what the fuck? I need one of those, but whatever. You guys know where to find Beyond the Rift every Thursday, 4 p.m. PDT. It's always a good time here. Make sure to tune in, but that's going to be it for Beyond the Rift this week. Catch you guys next week. Hope you have a good one. Peace, boys.
Bye.